Welcome back. You have heard that time is money, right? Well, forget it. When it comes to manhunts, time is distance. And one reason that we all keep saying Brian Laundrie could be anywhere is that he's had ample time to get there. He's only been a fugitive, technically, since that arrest warrant came out back on September 22nd for allegedly using Gabby Petito's debit card. Before that, he could have gone anywhere he liked, in this country or other countries, without even glancing over his shoulder, because nobody was even looking for him back then. Laundrie's parents claim that he drove off to the swamp for a day hike back on September 13th, which was 4 days before they actually happened to mention it to police that he was missing. And it was 9 days before the warrant for his arrest. If he did go abroad, he joins a veritable rogues gallery of fugitives who followed the same impulse, but who, with rare exception, would end up right back in the jurisdiction that they fled. So feast your eyes on those guys. They didn't do so well. I'm going to talk about a few of those famous cases and how they apply or not to the Laundrie manhunt with some of the leaders in their field. Joel Lambert, I don't have to tell you, has helped us to understand just what it takes to survive as a wanted person wherever in the world you may be. He is a former Navy SEAL. He's the host of Lone Target on Discovery Channel, and he's just really unbelievably badass. John Cuff is the former head of the Northeast Fugitive Investigation Division of the U.S. Marshals Service. Did you know there's U.S. Marshals overseas? There are. And Chuck Jordan is president of both the International Bounty Hunter Union and the National Association of Fugitive Recovery Agents. Did you even know there were such organizations? There are. They're good. Okay, Chuck Jordan, first of all, the international bounty hunting business, I kind of knew it existed. I just don't know the extent of it. Is it big business? And do we already have legions of people like you sniffing out a potential Brian Laundrie catch?
Well, the majority of our members are domestic. We do have international members, and we work off of the Rewards for Justice program, which is administered by the U.S. State Department. They have a list of fugitives. Most of them are wanted terrorists, war crimes, genocide, drug trafficking, that sort of thing. And the rewards are, tend to be upwards of $5 million. So there's a huge financial incentive.
Welcome back. I've got this fantastic panel of just international experts of what it takes to find people if they decide to flee the country. And with the three of you here, I wanted to remind our viewers of a couple of cases that really, had us understanding what it took to get people back when they flee. Andrew Luster was the heir to the Max Factor fortune. He fled to Mexico during his 2003 rape trial. He drugged 3 women with GHB. He was arrested 5 months later in Puerto Vallarta. He'd been convicted in absentia, was sentenced to 50 years in prison. But again, Max Factor means he had some money. Alex Kelly was known as the preppy rapist from Darien, Connecticut. Somewhere I know familiar. I'm pretty familiar with it. He fled to Europe with the help of his well-off parents to avoid standing trial on raping 2 teenage girls back in '86, surrendered in Switzerland, convicted in '97, sentenced to 16 years. The similarity of those 2 cases, Joel Lambert, is that these people had money, lots of it. They had a support network. And, when it comes to taking off and being in unfamiliar terrain, money has to help. Brian Laundrie's parents don't seem to have a whole lot of money. They live in a pretty modest little yellow bungalow in Northport, Florida. Their company, as I understand it, is a juice servicing company. They're not, captains of industry. But Chuck Jordan, they are pretty committed to staying tight-lipped. And one of the other familiar issues with Alex Kelly, the preppy rapist, and with the Max Factor heir is that they had parents that were supportive. Does it all start and end with parents in a case like this?
Well, I think in this particular case, you may be, on the right track with that. It's obvious that, after Gabby Petito, was murdered, that Brian Laundrie didn't take off in just any direction. He went home with his parents. And he had a few weeks to plan his life as a fugitive. So that, I think, is a good indication that that time was well spent putting together a plan, for his life as a fugitive, perhaps gathering some financial resources, reaching out to perhaps, his outer circle, maybe a friend or relative that might be able to, put him up and sort of help him keep a low profile.
Joel Lambert, can't thank you enough. John Cuff, thank you as well. Chuck, Jordan, just great information from the three of you. Appreciate it. I want to remind our viewers that if you see something, you say something. The FBI's tip line is 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-225-5324. You can be a part of this. Everybody has a part in this. Thank you for being a part of this program. We will be back tomorrow with more on this particular story. See you then.